let's try this again, shall we?
All right. Resin versus Bonks, game number 2, or I should say try number 2.
Yes.
All right. Now, of course,
Electric
when we have a restart like this, guys, you cannot change lineups. So we're looking at the exact same thing we just saw. We're looking at double Brisbane Castilla, double Goliath, Elbing, and Lushun for Resin here in the green along the top of the map. Looking over builds,
Yep.
the only thing that I kind of went, maybe go, okay. Big Boys Elbing here, running unique upgrade. Just about everybody else, more or less, kind of what you would expect. I will say, Big Six TV's Brisbane is actually a bit of a torpedo build versus Peyton's Brisbane is really not. What do you got on the south end of the map, Sath?
Well, I want to comment too. When you do the restart, that doesn't guarantee that your ship will spawn in the same position. Hungary's
Correct.
Castilla, for example, is spawned at a different spot.
Correct.
And as far as Elbing, honestly, from when I did a replay review recently for Grunty, who was running the unique upgrade Elbing, and I kind of want to buy that and try it because it looks hella fun.
I have been playing
standard.
that. Grunty got me to buy one. It is really neat. Give it a shot.
Yeah. All right, so to the south, Bonks is bringing with them a Delny that's currently heading towards the A cap. And it looks like Satori Maru maybe was listening when I said my joke of, hey, just bring a Janan, because there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Now, in order to do that, they paid the price so they could bring some maybe more powerful ships. For example, they have Addy in the defense. This is our first time seeing a defense in this game, and it's worth 13 points, along with D Squarius' Henri and Battleship Nagatos. I'm pretty sure that's Nagato and Smallland heading into the sea cap, along with Admiral Tester next, and another Henri for Maxim Han. We also have Kermit Seppuku in a Burgon. So they have 3 fire starting ships all heading towards the 910 line. I wonder what's about to happen in about 5 minutes from now.
Bonks has got a whole lot of Han in their sea cap there, as Resin is opted for a little more traditional 4-3 split. Double Brisbane Castilla Elbing headed north of A. Goliath, double Goliath Lushun headed to B. Those Goliaths, remember, don't get anywhere very quickly. So I suspect they are basically there to just hold the line and keep the opposing team out of the B cap while the A flank does its thing. Delny about to step onto A.
Before the restart, having a Goliath and Brisbane on each flank gives that flexibility. But if you look at it, they've actually done the opposite. They put both Brizzies together for the constant 12-kilometer radar savagery, and then on the other side, they've put both Goliaths together because it's really hard to push 2 Goliaths.
Speaking of 12-kilometer radar, one already going up here to push the Delny out of the A cap. Cookie deciding, nope, I was going to dive this island. It's not worth it. Because he and the Janan are basically here to kind of, much like the Goliaths at the B cap, sort of hold the line.
Yep. Now, the irony is he could have dove into the A cap, got it, but he would have been probably dead.
He probably would have been stuck there, right?
After a certain amount of time. Exactly.
Yeah, probably would have been stuck there. Choosing to preserve his ship and surrender the cap, probably the right play here. Certainly, with the game barely underway here, only 3 minutes gone. Now, this big bonk speedy push here, I'm wondering how far east they're going to go before they turn north, Sath. Where's your money?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question? I was just double checking something.
So this bonks push that's pushing east, when do you think they'll make the turn to go north? Will they go all the way to the 10 line? Will they push up the 9 line? Will they push up the 8 line? Well, it's already too late for the 8 line.
When you've got 4 ships, you spread them out 1 grid square apart. So you can see Addy's defense is turning into a defensive position, where he can start pushing up. Seppuku is already starting to turn in a little bit, and they're going to wait until the 2 Henris get to the flank. My guess is D Squarius is going to turn up and go behind that big island on the 910 line, and Admiral Tester is going to go all the way to the extreme flank. That being said, Tester's already turned north, so they might be flipping that idea, and they're going to have D Squarius go all the way to the flank. That'll take some extra time for them to set up, though.
Yep. Bonks' game definitely hinges on this push working for them. They don't really have that. I'm not sure. Well, I say they don't have an opportunity. I'm making an assumption with 16 minutes on the clock, but my suspicion is they won't have an opportunity call an audible like we saw RB do earlier in the day.
No, this is an all or nothing decision.
Big boy's going to take a torpedo. Oh, no, was that desync? You think?
Probably.
That's wild. Now, I will say Addy's defense crawling up the 7 line does surprise me a little bit. But
And why is that?
I think I like the play. Well, you mentioned it earlier. Kind of set up at sea, looking like, okay, we're going to hold the line. We don't really know what they're doing, where they're going, what they're doing just yet. And I'd say that's probably still valid. But I like this play because it gives them extra angles on whatever they run into north of here. For example, they caught eyes on Mad Dog. The Smallland radar picked him up for a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take a little bit of damage, probably nothing catastrophic.
Mm-hmm. So the big thing about the defense is you absolutely have to play it next to an island, and you have to ensure that you can only be shot at from one angle. Addy also using the smoke. This is a very smart play. Look at this. He's going to smoke. He's going to fire at Fiva, who thinks he's safe right now in a Goliath. And he's showing pretty good side. Watch this.
Pretty good angle. Nothing much out of that one. Does take a decent salvo out of the Burgonia AP, I think, right there. How big are defense's guns, Zath?
They're very good.
No, not good. How big are they? What's the caliber? Do you remember?
Oh. God. Off the top of my head, no, but I can look it up real quick.
Okay. It's not that critical. Just curious. Smallland driving hard for the cap. They have no way to prevent it at this point. They're rotating one of the Brisbane's back. That's Big Six, bringing his 12-kilometer radar back.
They are 356 millimeter. I mean, it's perfect for killing cruisers.
Oh, yeah. She's a cruiser killer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I got to say, double Goliath versus Burgonia, that can't be a very uncomfortable place to be as a French battleship.
Well, and that's why you can see Seppuku is actually hanging pretty far back compared to the Henris.
2 deep water torps into testers Henri over here. Brilliant salvo from Mad Dog's Lucian.
Yeah, I saw the torpedoes coming, but I was really curious about if you're going to have a ship in the lead, it needs to have hydro running. Now, Tester had hydro running. It's on cooldown now, so you can see that he's stopping and slowing down. That's going to allow Disquarius to take the lead.
All the fire going in on Faba. They're trying to focus him out before his next super heal comes up. He's got about 35 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Nagato's
that's absolutely how you have to do it.
Yep. Nagato's small and steps onto the cap, drawing out the Brisbane radar. Let's see how this works. How do they call the fire here? Obviously, the Brisbane going in on the Smallland. The Lucian lights himself up going in on the Smallland, as well as the Castilla.
Yep.
You think there's an opportunity to use Castilla's funny button?
Yep. Castilla rotated around, and there goes the Goliath.
They do get Fava's Goliath. Here comes the funny button from the Castilla, Zath.
Mm-hmm.
Not as big as they probably wanted.
No.
Smallland's going to sneak away here. He takes a big chunk of damage, but he does manage to live through it.
Smallland's got the ability to have this special boost that's more powerful than your standard engine boost. And so it makes it very easy to get out and dodge quickly if you need to. Also to dodge incoming fire.
Well, they did lose.
Disquarius.
Go ahead.
Sorry, what?
No, go for it.
I was gonna say Disquarius has taken the lead now in the Henri. This is how you properly rotate ships. We see a lot of teams struggle with this in tournaments because there's just so much going on. But you absolutely need to be able to rotate your ships to extend your health pools. So Disquarius now coming up on the line and allowing Tester to stay in the backfield, but still in range to have his guns heard on the Goliath.
Eagle lances Goliath, the last survivor here at the top of the board, as his other compatriot Goliath has bought the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Extinguishing what looked to be a triple fire right there.
And that's why you bring the Henris. You see the DCP, you pop your reload booster. Tester has his reload booster ready. He's not using it just yet. I think we'll see that come up soon, though.
Resin managing to defend the B cap for now, but goodness gracious, a tremendous amount of pressure. Mm-hmm. Henri AP going down range on Hungry as Castilla. Here comes a Burgonia AP salvo. Nope, nothing doing. Smallland radar going up.
Sticky fire.
They're trying to get
Castilla shots
on the Henri.
Look at this.
I think he's going to dodge a chunk of that. Well, it wasn't bad. That's not a bad hit, actually.
Meanwhile, Brisbane torpedoes take out Nagato's Smallland.
Oh, that's a huge kill. That takes away the cap threat now.
Yes. And the radar and all that.
Yeah. The torpedo cruiser configuration paying off there for Big Six. Resin now a minute 20 away from winning the game. They've bent at Bravo, but they have not broken. Bonks looking like they're going to shove the Burgonia in the cap.
Remember, Brisbane torpedoes are 13.5 kilometer range. And there goes Cookie's Delny over by the A side. So Janon's by himself. And we got 30 seconds.
I was going to say, if the Delny's gone, the game is almost over. 30 seconds here for Bonks to make a play happen. Kermit is going to get into the cap. That's going to buy them a little bit of time. It's going to buy them 20 more seconds. So we're back to a 30-second timer. Resin continuing to tick up A.
Addy changing his positioning. He's going to try to get behind Hungriest Castilla because he's stuck sitting there.
Yeah.
Is he going to have enough time to do that, though?
I don't think he... Well, I know it's going to be close.
I think he can.
I think he can, actually.
I think he can.
It's going to be very, very, very close. 10 seconds. He's only going to get one salvo. It's got to count. 7 seconds. 3 seconds. He's not going to get it.
Gotta fire now.
No, he does!
Oh, he gets it! He gets it!
Barely squeaks it in under the wire there. That's a time extension for Bonks. We're back to 1:15.
Yeah, great kill for Bonks right there.
Brilliant kill for Bonks, saving the game for them. They are going to grab B. But at this point, if you're Resin, all you have to do is retreat and not lose a ship. How's Eagle Lance doing? He's got a heal in the bank, and it's ready to go when he needs it.
Look at how low Satori Maru's Junon
I know.
is. 1,000 hit points.
We really didn't look much at this side of the map, but clearly Payton and Big Boy's Elbing just did work over here, Zaf.
Well, I mean, you're talking about one ship that's got deep water torpedoes versus, a ship that's got hydro and destroyers.
Yeah.
So,
like that, they clearly knew their business. I feel like we have to go back and watch that. I want to go back and look some more at that next time. Eagle Lance undetected, trying to sneak away here. Seems to have managed it for the moment. 15 seconds to a Resin win. Bonks finally able to get this push off. Finally able to cap B, but it just came a little too late. And game one's going to go to Resin, Zaf.
Yeah. Bonks just lost too much in that push, especially with the small in there. It just didn't work out in their favor.
They were doing, I saw it, but I didn't mention it at the time, right? They were doing a brilliant job. They brought in the Castilla Torps, the Brisbane Torps, and the Smallland Torps, all in kind of like the approximate area that they knew that Smallland was in because of RPF. And man, did it work out brilliantly.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to Resin for their first win.
Looking good here in game one, guys. Looking good.
Yep.